Welcome back, everybody. We got another video to break down by MOJANG. I hope you guys had a great week. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great time with your family, friends, whatever you do. I just hope you had a great time. But today we're breaking down a video by MOJANG called Minecraft 1.18, but what happens to my old world? So you guys know I love to break down videos by MOJANG, and especially considering we're only a couple days away from 1.18, Caves and Cliffs Part 2. So really excited about this. I will be starting a brand new Let's Play for 1.18. So let me know what you guys plan on doing in 1.18 during the first week of release. And I just want to say thank you guys for the support. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Join the Stealth Army. Only 40% of you watching are actually a part of the channel. So I'd love to see you back. So you know the routine, you know the drill. Let's get straight into the video.
I just hit the microphone. I'll start over. Hi, microphone. When players explore this update, it's easy to get the impression, looking at, for example, YouTube's and other content online, it's easy to get the impression that everything is just massively big. And we have added massively big mountains and caves, but actually what we've tried to achieve is a balance, and we've tried to achieve a lot of variation. So as a player, what you will experience is that. You'll experience variation. You'll find tiny, cramped, claustrophobic caves. You'll find massive mountain ranges. You'll find huge...
I agree with everything he just said. I think the problem is, it's so much, right? The increased world height limit, aren't worlds 50% larger? So it just feels overwhelming at times how big everything is. Like every biome's larger. Of course, he talks about balance, which is true. We see a lot more variation, which is lovely. But at the same time, it's just everything feels more extreme. It's not a bad thing either. You guys know I love Amplified, so it doesn't bother me. I think it's just going to take some time for people to adapt and sort of acclimate to these extreme changes. But let me know what you guys think about the new world generation.
Huge flat areas. And basically, no matter how many worlds you create or how far you explore, you'll be surprised. And I know that because even though I've been working on this for a year and with my team, we get surprised every day when we're just exploring the terrain. So here's a pro tip. If you don't like what you see, if you want mountains and it's too flat or vice versa, just move on until you find what you like. Because
you know, another thing is that I feel like because of the changes of the world generation, it's going to match up beautifully with 1.19, the wild update. I feel like we're just going to notice more things about every single biome because of just how intense and how extreme these biomes look now because of the world generation and height increase. I feel like once they do add whatever it is they're trying to add in 1.19, which who really knows? I mean, they're probably going to add a lot of new plants and stuff, but just seeing that combined with 1.18, it's going to be absolutely stunning. I seriously can't wait.
You will find something that you like, I'm almost sure.
When I do the playtest in Minecraft, and I just remember what it felt like before when I was exploring a lot of cave systems in Vietnam, and it's like you sat on a boat and then you paddle inside like a tiny entrance. You have to almost lean backwards like this, and then you get in and it's like massive like this, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. This is real stuff, so realistic that we managed to bring these things into the game.
I love the fact that there's so many ways to explore a cave now. You don't have to just dig straight down and find a random cave. Like, that was also fun and enjoyable for a while. And just how it branches off into larger caves and different openings, leading to who knows what. It's a very fun, scary, and unique experience. As of right now, I feel like the caves, I'm just gonna enjoy them more. Don't get me wrong, I don't feel like mountains are bad or anything. In fact, mountains are easily one of my favorite features. I just feel like we're gonna get more out of the caves now, like a lot more out of the caves because of just how they generate, how big and massive they are, and just even collecting ores and materials is 10 times more effective. So share your thoughts down below. Which one do you guys like the most, caves or mountains?
When you open your existing world in Minecraft 1.18, first you won't see anything different. You'll see your existing world, but if you start traveling and exploring, you'll start seeing dramatic new terrain in the unexplored areas, mainly mountains and caves and new terrain generation. But if you go down below your existing areas, then you'll find that the bedrock has been replaced by deep slate. And if you dig down below that, you'll find new amazing caves, hopefully.
This is by far one of the most significant features ever, because for the longest time, and I'm sure we can find plenty of articles and even videos of Mojang saying this, they don't like to interfere with people's old worlds or old builds. Anything related to something that's been in the game before that update. And now we're seeing a shift in Mojang's stance here, like how they feel about people's worlds and how they interpret people's builds and worlds. So to see them acknowledge and actually do something here where we can find new content beneath our builds, beneath our worlds, is the most game-changing feature I could think of in a long time. This is such a victory for the community. Being able to dig down beneath bedrock, actually the bedrock is gone, it's replaced with deep slate, and find new content is the craziest thing that I can think of in a long time, in several updates. So really excited about this, and I think this is a really good sign for future updates, for future content, especially when it relates to old worlds. I think it puts a lot less pressure on us, and ultimately I think we just get more out of the update now. So share your thoughts down below when it comes to this. Easily my favorite feature.
Without blending, your world will look really out of place. If your explored area is really flat and then you generate chunks or a mountain, then it will create a really hard cut edge between them. But with blending, it will smooth out the terrain, so it looks like it fits more together.
Are you guys gonna miss seeing those huge walls, like those massive walls that separates like old content, old worlds to new content? It was always funny to see, in my opinion. Like, it didn't really bother me that much. It just felt like Minecraft. It just felt like it was a part of every single world, just to see something that clearly separates content. I get it, it's ugly, it's not pleasant to see. I just think if you've been playing Minecraft for a long time, then you probably don't even notice it anymore.
Hopefully you will not notice it. It's supposed to blend your old world with the new one, so it fits more. So it fits together.
One bug we had while working on the blending is that if you have a flat ground on the old terrain and a mountain on the new terrain, we would try to blend them together to sort of hide the seam. But if you have a village on that edge or any structure, the blending will actually pull the house up and create this spray can sort of formation with the structure, which didn't look really well. So we try to sort of keep the houses together.
Thinking about how people used to seed hunt for those things, like the woodland mansions being broken in half or broken into a billion different pieces. Like, people used to spend countless days looking for those things, and the villages being all over the place, being spread out and separated and underground, and that was a lot of fun, man. Clearly, you know, they didn't want it to be that way. Mojang's like, yeah, we didn't really want that. But at the same time, I think as a community, we just loved it overall. We fell in love with it.
And sometimes that means that the house would sort of be carved into a mountain. That's okay. The players are really good at finding their own stories to why the things that happen. Maybe this villager is a bit less social. Maybe he doesn't like sun, right? Like, I think it's okay as long as it's together, as long as you can find some explanation to it. I mean, that villager has some weird life choices, but hey, we respect all life choices here, so it's okay.
We do have some Bedrock specific challenge, which in this case is to keep back compat, because in Bedrock we made a lot of promises to our content creator to make sure that worlds stay the same way that we promised that they were, even when we introduced the new world generation. And another thing is that in Bedrock we release in multiple different platforms, so then we had to make sure that our performance stay at a really good level so that the game is still playable and enjoyable in these limited capacity devices.
They even bring it up in this video. I had no idea, by the way. I'm watching this live with you guys for the first time, how they don't like to interfere with people's builds, the worlds. But I don't think, as a community, I don't think that really bothers us that much. Like, I don't think it really impacts us as much as they think it does. Or even just having the ability to do that through the launcher, through a setting, I think goes a long way. Just having the option to do something is always good. Having the choice to do something instead of them being like, we don't want to do that because we don't want to do this to your world or your seed or something. But at the end of the day, I think people just want new content, right? I think most people, I don't want to speak on everybody because we all feel differently, but I think the community just enjoys new content, new features, and not necessarily always having to go 3,000 blocks out to get it. But share your thoughts down below when it comes to that.
So some examples of things that break when we change the height of the world. Let's take mineshafts as an example. Mineshafts aren't designed to exist in massive caves. And now suddenly we have big, massive caves. Mineshafts would basically be floating in the air and it look ridiculous. So we added pillars and chains to make it look a little more realistic. Other examples are feature placement, like how many ores are we placing? Well, most of that is kind of relative to...
I honestly thought that was in 1.17. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, please do. I thought these changes were added in the current update 1.17. Either way, I'm still happy they did this. I feel like it was necessary, or else it just looked a little weird and odd. I think a lot of people were expecting more changes as well, just more variety would have been nice. Still, I think the mineshaft is one of my favorite structures in Minecraft, so to see it get improvements is always nice. I think they need to continue that with every single structure in Minecraft. You know, the jungle temple, the desert temple, the nether fortress. There's so many things that need updating. The witch huts, we can go on and on and on. So this is a good start.
How many ores are we placing? Well, most of that is kind of relative to how high the world is. Now that the world is even higher, it's all the proportions change. So to make it all match up was really hard. We had things like desert temples that were always buried because they were coded to always exist at a certain height level. But now when the terrain is higher, the desert temples were never visible. So these are just some examples. Multiply that by like 1,000, right? It's been a lot.
It's interesting he brings that up, I think. And we could have an entire separate video talking about these things because I think we don't tend to notice a lot of the issues they run into, but at the same time, they don't necessarily vocalize it that much. I mean, we know that bugs are a big issue with this game. Every single feature they add creates 10 new bugs, maybe 100 new bugs or glitches. I have no idea. One thing I do know is that parity seems to be something that continues to divide the Minecraft community. Features that Java has, that Bedrock doesn't have, and features that Bedrock has that Java doesn't have, seems to be a list that hasn't really decreased that much in every update. Because for a long time, that seems to be their top priority or one of their top priorities. And as a result, I don't feel like we're getting as many features in every major update as a lot of people would like to see. I think they just need a larger team. Like I said, that could be a separate video. This is all about 1.18 in today's video. I think it's worth celebrating because we're getting some amazing features related to world generation. So share your favorite one down below. I will be starting a Let's Play, probably amplified. Let me know what you guys would like to see as well. So I appreciate your support. Notification squad, y'all are the goats, and I'll catch you all in the next video, all right? So take care. Peace.
Ha ha ha.